Namaste everyone, welcome back to YogaCandi. So today we have a really quick stretch out for you. After any form of cardio workout, this is going to be great, especially for something like running or hiking or jogging, anything like that. Because of the repetitive movements of the type of cardio, we're going to focus a little bit on stretching out our psoas, our IT band, the hamstrings and our hip flexors. So there's going to be around 3 or 4 different poses that we're going to do. What I'd like you to have, especially if you're a complete beginner and you're really inflexible, which is what this video is going to be focusing on, as people that struggle with that, is a yoga block or a book, like quite a thick book or something like that, and either a yoga strap or a belt or a rolled up hand towel. All those things will do the same thing. So feel free to pause the video here if you need to run and grab stuff. Otherwise, let's get straight into it. So, come up onto all fours, come up onto your knees, and we're going to send the right foot forward. This is going to stretch through the front of the left hip. Keep your hips squared off towards the front of the mat. And the way to do this is to send the left hip slightly forward and the right hip slightly back. Now, the closer you have the left knee to the front heel, the easier this is going to be. So if you're here, that's absolutely fine. Perhaps even use your book to the side and just slightly lean back, and you're already going to feel a stretch. But if possible, send that leg backwards. Get yourself into position and send your shoulder blades towards each other, opening up through the chest. Keep the back as straight as possible and allow gravity to sink your hips towards the floor. Place your hand onto your book or your block and the other hand onto your knee, just for a little bit of extra support. Take 3 really deep breaths here, guys. If at any point you need to sink a little lower, go for it. Listen to the body. If it feels like it wants to open up even more, allow it to do so. Take 1 more deep breath. And then let's send our hips back. We're going to stretch through the hamstring on the right side now. So send your toes up towards the ceiling, engaging the right leg. Lean forward onto your block or your book. Keep your back as straight as possible and see if you can send your tailbone up towards the sky. This is going to intensify the stretch even more through that hamstring. Let's take 3 deep breaths through the nostrils from this moment on. Wonderful. Let's swap legs, guys. So come back onto your knees. And let's take the left leg forward. Sink through the hips, and remember, the closer that the back leg is to the front heel, the easier this is going to be. And if that's the case, then lean back a little bit. Right, take your book, place your hand onto your knee for some support. Keep your spine as straight as possible. Keep your hips squared off to the front of the mat. And let's take 3 really deep breaths in through the nose here. Perhaps in this last second, allow your hips to sink a little deeper, just to get a bit deeper into those hips. And then send it back into a half split pose. Lean forward onto your book or your block. Allow your toes to face up towards the ceiling. Sending your left hip backwards, right hip slightly forwards to square off to the front of the mat. And take 3 deep breaths here, remembering to send your tailbone up towards the sky, sucking in the belly and keeping your back as straight as possible. Take your last breath here. And then come forward, come onto your knees. And we're going to stretch through our hip flexors now. So come onto your bottom and don't worry, some people may find, we're going to take butterfly pose now. Taking your heels together, allow your knees to fall apart. Some of you may be up here, your knees may actually be in this position. And that's absolutely fine, just sit up as tall as you can, holding onto your knees, onto your feet. Or you can actually go and put your back against a wall just so that you try to keep your spine straight. Be where you are. But whatever you do, allow your knees just to hang heavy. Sit up nice and tall through the spine. Close your eyes. And wherever you are, let's start to move our hips up and down. Move your knees up and down so that you're flapping the wings of the butterfly at the moment. This is going to warm up through the hip flexors for a minute. Remember to keep your breath nice, deep and long. Now, depending on your flexibility level, you can come all the way forward to the floor and lean forward. But if you have very tight hip flexors, use your book or your yoga block. Put it in front of you on the highest height and perhaps lean forward, try to keep the back straight. And place your forearms onto the block or onto the book. And take 3 deep breaths wherever you are. If you want to go deeper, go onto the lowest point of your book. If you are really struggling and you've got your back against a wall and your knees are up here and you think, oh, don't worry, just stay there because that's still opening up through the hip flexors. Just allow your knees to fall open wherever you are. So wherever you are, take 3 deep breaths through the nose and out of the nose. Keep your back nice and straight. If you want to go a little lower just before we finish, then feel free to do so. Come a little lower. Just make sure that you try to keep your back as straight as possible. Okay, come up. If your legs are low down, use your hands to bring them together, and we're going to do our last stretch, which is going to be through our IT band. So I'm going to move my mic out of the way to start with. Lie down on the mat, flat on your back. To start off with, let's take our left leg at a 90-degree angle. Take your right leg up into the air, place it over the left leg, so that you've got like a shape of figure 4 here, a figure 4 shape. Now you may need your strap for this. If you can't grab behind the left knee, then use your strap or your towel, whatever you have handy. Place it behind and hold on to that and just try to pull it in towards your body. If you can grab behind the knee, then grab behind the left knee and allow your right arm to push the right leg a little further away from the body. At the same time, perhaps press that left foot into the right leg so that you're pulling it in towards the body even further. Place your shoulder blades underneath the body and make sure that your lower back is flat against the floor. Don't allow your hips to come up in this position. Let's take 3 really deep breaths here through the nostrils. Take one more breath. Squeeze your legs towards you. And then let's release. Take that leg up into the air and perhaps just bend through the knees for a second. And let's take it over to the other side. So the right leg at a 90-degree angle. Take the left leg over the top into your figure four. Remember, you can use your belt or your strap, whatever you've got handy to help you get behind that right knee. Using the left elbow, push the left leg a little further away from the body. And use the right leg to push the left leg closer towards the body. Keeping your back flat against the floor. Shoulder blades are tucked underneath you. Close your eyes and feel the sensations. Take 3 really deep breaths here. Take one more deep breath. And let's squeeze that leg in towards the body. Get the most out of this last moment. And slowly release the legs. Take them up into the air and let's bend through the knees. Come up into a comfortable seat, and I hope that's going to be really helpful for you guys to add to the end of your cardio workouts every time you do one. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and also feel free to subscribe because I'm going to be adding new videos every Monday and every Wednesday. So until next time guys, namaste.